Okay, welcome in. It is good afternoon, Michigan football. Jim Scarcelli is here like he is after every Michigan game throughout the season. Michigan takes care of IU to move to 7-0, the number 2 team in the country. They've been there all year long. And Scar, now it's on to Saturday night in East Lansing. We're ready to get a lot to talk about today.
Hey, we're fired up, undefeated, healthy, getting better. This is a big week, Denny. This is a special week. This is the only time when I was playing, this is the only time we practiced at the stadium. So, both thought it was I don't know what Jim does if they go up there, but it was a special week. It's a rival game and it mattered. It has always mattered. And it'll go by the week of practice will be easy for the players because they're just going to be a lot of enthusiasm. It ain't hard to get up for these people. I don't care what the record is, man. Don't care. We will be ready to go.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll practice at the stadium or not. Harbaugh indicated today in terms of practicing that because Michigan State plays on grass and Michigan has just been playing on field turf, that they'll practice on grass in preparation. I think the last time that they played on grass was the college football semi. So they'll want to get familiar with the turf, but that doesn't mean they can't go over there. But because of the opponent, maybe not.
Yeah, no, I didn't even think about that. I didn't because back in my day, we were all on turf. So I didn't make that connection, and they probably won't be up there.
There you go. Well, Scar, how about what we're going to talk about today? We have another big game out there that's going to take place at noon. Michigan, as everyone knows, is a night game. That's Ohio State, Penn State. We'll get our early feel for that game. We have the famous, entertaining, and educational film review from Jim Scarcelli. Can't wait for that. But we'll give some thoughts. Scar just gave some on Michigan State. It's easy to get up for. Looking back to Saturday, Jim Harbaugh talking about Michigan's performance against IU. And, Coach, I don't want to say he was all smiles. He has been in a good mood. I'd say, why wouldn't he be in a good mood? He's got a really good team, and they're playing really well. So, the coach was, feeling pretty good today.
Yeah, he should be. We came out of there healthy. We're playing well in all phases of the game. We had a challenge early on. They moved the ball on us, and we didn't exactly go up and down the field on us, but got some things figured out. The depth paid off. A couple big plays changed the momentum, and then I was kind of disappointed. I think Indiana kind of quit a little bit. I didn't expect that. Once we got up a couple touchdowns, it looked like they kind of quit in some ways, but. Listen, man, we're clicking, played a lot of people again, cleared probably 80 guys played again. So, we couldn't be in a better situation because, you got punched in the face. You have to prepare and play for every game we got in our schedule. And that happened against Indiana. We found a way to overcome and get it rolling and, good in all ways, man.
Along with Harbaugh today, there were 2 players made available to the media, and all of them, everyone that had a similar theme. Nobody was going back and talking about any tunnel or animosity. They have moved on, according to Jim Harbaugh, from all of that and just focusing on practice today. And then Jalen Harrell, the edge from U of M's defense, and Blake Corum spoke. Both of them mentioned just going up there and taking care of business, making this a business trip, and not getting involved in any of that other stuff. They know it's a state championship, as Corum called it, making sure they get Paul. Of course, the last time they went to Spartan Stadium is the last time they lost a regular season game back in 2021. They've won them all since. So, going up there and taking the bus or whatever, 50 minutes the night before, or usually you're in a plane and all that, a little bit different. So it's so close, but I think they'll remember a little bit of that from last time, wanting to get that victory up there. So there's always, like you said, it's easy to get motivated for this one. Very easy, to get motivated to go up.
You said something. Do you believe they're staying in Ann Arbor the night before?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get the exact.
Because, when I was playing, we used to stay in Marshall. They used to go to the steak joint over. We used to go to that steak place. And then my last year, we stayed in Ann Arbor. You know, and that was too long of a ride. I don't know. I hope they don't.
I mean, it is a 7:30 game, so if you stay in Ann Arbor, you got all day.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do. But that ride,
a noon kick, you'd want to get a little closer. But
yeah,
it being 7:30 and everything. But I don't know. I don't like, you know, traveling the same day of a game. You know, you tend to get a little.
Yeah, it was too long.
We want to be able to walk around a little bit, even an hour bus trip. So yeah.
Anyway, a couple thoughts real quick. Look, this is one of our goals, man. It's on this. You know, Jim has our goals written up, and he puts they're on the wall somewhere at Schembechler. But beat MSU is one of our goals, so it's a big deal. You know, I've covered this. We like what's happening there. They got problems. They got chaos. They're looking for going to be looking for a new coach. The program's in shambles. That's what we want from them. We want them to have problems. You know, looking for a new coach every 3-4 years. And this game is big for recruiting. It's big for recruiting. We want to lock down the state. So this game matters. We want them talking about basketball. Okay. That's what they're doing over there. They're already talking about basketball. So this game is big for recruiting. And, you know, this game, it matters, man. It matters big time. You know, I remember when I was getting recruited, Denny, you know, it matters big time to them, because when I was getting recruited, Kirk Gibson showed me. I spent a lot of time with Kirk Gibson. He used to help out. He's a proud Spartan, but he kept talking about how, you know, the Michigan game from 1978 when they beat us, you know, and that's all they wanted to talk about was Michigan up there. You know, when you go through when you're hearing the recruiting, they talking about Michigan. And that's how it is at a lot of these different places. I go to Wisconsin, they're talking about Michigan, you know, whereas Schembechler's pulling out rings and talking about championships. But anyway, this game is everything for them. Okay, so we're going to get everything we got from them. And we want to keep Paul, just like you said, man, we want to keep Paul Bunyan because, you know, inside of Schembechler Hall, they got a beautiful display area over by the weight room. They've got the Northwestern trophy. You know, I forget what they call that. They got the brown jug, you know, and we've got Paul Bunyan. We got those championship trophies there. It's a beautiful deal. You know, you take a recruit and you take a little walk past that, you know, hey, okay, what's that all about? So this, you know, we want to retain Paul Bunyan, like you said. So, but, you know, this team, listen, if you want to talk about them real quickly, I think offensively, you know, I was hoping they'd had some real quarterback problems, but that kid looked pretty good. You know, they went with Hauser. He wasn't bad in there. He looked like a confident kid. And the thing about having two quarterbacks now is they're going to run the heck out of those kids. They're not going to be concerned about him getting hurt, getting hit. You know, we're going to be concerned that we don't want to run our guy, but that makes it tougher to defend a defense when you have the quarterback draw. You got the quarterback power, and they got all that stuff in. They ran it against Rutgers. So I think their running backs are real good. I think the quarterback is a decent player. They got pretty good receivers. I think their offensive line's pretty good. I think our defense is the one that's has a bigger challenge Saturday. Because, Denny, just like we got the Georgia period, right? Jim talked about the Georgia period. And we talk about Michigan State and Ohio State. Jim talks about it year-round, I guarantee you. Okay, and we might even do drills in sessions focused on them. Okay, but I guarantee you, Michigan State has a whole section dedicated to Michigan. They will practice. They will have spring football. They might dedicate a whole week to putting in trick plays, putting in stuff that we haven't seen, that they haven't shown all year. Okay, when we lost to them 2 years ago, they had a bunch of stuff they never ran. That's why I say our defense, more so than our offense, is really going to see things that you haven't seen. And that's when you save all that stuff. All that stuff you worked on in the spring, you know, but like I said, they definitely have a Michigan period over there in East Lansing. But I think their defense, they're not as tough up front like they've been. They're interior guys. I see guys that I think we're going to move around. I'm expecting Keegan and our guards and centers to have a great game. I feel we're going to come right at them and have good luck in there. They got a young freshman linebacker playing in there. But I think we should put 35 points on them, okay? And but let's just let. But then I said it Saturday night. I said the number one thing, and I'm not. People always say, "What's the biggest key?" This, that, or whatever. Secure the football. Number one. That's all I want. That's all I want, because I don't think they're going to drive the football on our defense consistently, and I think we will be able to move the ball on their defense consistently. Let's just give them no gifts. No punter dropping the ball like we did 2 years ago. No exchange problem with JJ and Corum, like gift, like we gave them 2 years ago. So just no gifts, and we walk out of there winners.
Yeah, on Saturday, the line was at 19.5. I looked today, it was a 23.5, 24. So not a lot of respect given to Michigan State. On the Michigan State side, I know they feel like they got a quarterback now, and it's said in a lot of past years, and I think it's a lot of rivalry stuff about State. This is their Super Bowl, and, they beat Michigan. Well, this particular season, this season went down the tubes pretty fast. We all know why. This game really is their Super Bowl. This season is over for Michigan State, but if they would win this one, it would be a huge boost, a big positive for them if they could shock the world like they did in 2020. I know it was the pandemic season. That was, and people just, put that aside. And, I tend to kind of do the same thing. Michigan sucked that year. So why not? Other teams did too. Pandemic's an easy one to go to. But, Michigan was a gigantic favorite that year. But, it's different. But the only part about it is that you never, I think you don't, Scar, and the players are not going to, and certainly the coaching staff is not. But a lot of the fans will take this one for granted. Who am I to say, hey, don't take this one for granted? Remember 2020? People don't want to hear that, but if State would. That my whole point is this particular season, State really doesn't. Their season is already over, so this would make this would make it. This would make their season somehow coming up.
Yeah, you look at what they did against Rutgers. They moved the ball on a pretty decent defense, and then their punter drops the ball. Their kick return guy don't know what he's doing. They just gave that game away. Are they going to do that against us? But, I just I would prepare, like you say, Rocky Lombardi, the kid didn't play. He did nothing ever at Michigan State against us. He looks like Johnny Unitas out there. He looks like Peyton Manning dropping dimes.
No, you are right about that. A question from Richard asking if we think this is the most special time of Michigan fandom in your life. You want me to take that one first, or do you want to answer?
Go ahead, Denny. Go ahead.
I think that, everyone has different time frames that they go through that, they would, like Scar playing at Michigan. I would think that would be for him, his most special time. And then the acquaintances that he made, and those are the things. But, for me, and I think for a lot of people, it's like when you are in that age of, 9 to 15, 9 to 16, games back then, they were bigger than anything else. Luckily, I didn't have a lot of things to get upset about or anything. Everything was about football. And if Michigan lost the game, it really did feel like the world was coming to an end. Well, you get to it's still pretty bad, when you get to 18 and you get your 20s and your 30s, but there's no time is like when you're a teenager or just getting into it. So, but, I'll give you this, Richard, I can remember in 97, it was going so well that there were a lot of people saying, hey, stop and smell the roses, appreciate this. This is a great time. This doesn't happen all the time. And we are in the middle of something that's like that. This run has been very nice these last 2 years. Now we can extend it into 3. This particular season, things are going really well. So, for me, each week has been one of these that has just been outstanding. I know the bigger games are coming, but, Michigan has a chance. This is everything that you could want if you are a Michigan fan. So what else could you possibly want? This is it. You're right in the middle of everything you want. So that's my long answer to it.
Hey, real quick, my answer is that I think it's all relative. Michigan's had many runs where they won 3-4 championships in a row or 4 to 5 championships in a row. And, the energy and the enthusiasm and the fan base is fired up. It's been like that, since I was a kid. We had a rough period there for a good while that Jim has dug us out of. But there's a little more attention. It's easier to access information with the internet. You can get up more information about players and coaches and look at film and look at all these things, which we couldn't do years ago. But I think the energy and enthusiasm on campus for Michigan fans is the same as it was in 1970 when we won 3 championships in a row. So, I think it's relative.
AMA is thinking about, like, this is a one of these fan things. Like, it's a night game because that Bowling Green was a night game that's making him nervous, and so JJ. So, but yeah, a good point. JJ looked pretty good at night against Minnesota. Hey, Scar, today I tried to ask Harbaugh about, what about the line with McCarthy running the ball out there and taking shots, and he didn't want what line? He didn't understand. And I said, has he had the opportunity to call his own number? And he said, we're sending the plays in. He didn't get into any of that. I wasn't ready to. I didn't come back quick enough and make my Josh Allen comparison. But Harbaugh went on to just say, look, McCarthy, and I'm going to paraphrase him, has a chance to be the greatest quarterback in Michigan history. McCarthy has the chance where everybody that follows, people are going to be talking about J.J. McCarthy. Jim Harbaugh can't be any more complimentary or behind his signal caller. He knows he has a special QB. He wasn't getting into him taking unnecessary shots or him calling his own number. He loves McCarthy, and he knows he's got a great one.
Yeah, he's a great player. He can run, he can throw, he's elusive. He's a team guy. He supports his teammates, and he's everything you would want, man. If I'm coaching that kid, that's everything I want. When your best player is a team guy, that stuff all trickles down. It makes it easy for everybody else to fall in line.
All right, Scar, we are going to get the film coming up, but there is also another big one coming up on Saturday. And this time it's, if you're a Michigan fan, obviously you're going to be taking this one in because it is at noon. Michigan doesn't play till 7:30. This is the Big Ten East. These are Michigan's, what looks like they're two biggest combatants this year to be able to get to the Big Ten championship game. These two teams are 2 of the last 3 games. Penn State on the road, all of that. Ohio State's favored by 4.5. This game is at the Horseshoe. Scar, what do you think?
Well, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think you've got 2 really talented football teams. They're very similar. Penn State just looks like they finally got bigger, thicker offensive line. I think their offensive line is up to par. I think Penn State might have a better offensive line than Ohio State. I think the quarterbacks are similar. I don't know if either team has an advantage at the quarterback position. I think Penn State's subtle advantage, offensive line. Both teams have real good running backs, skill receivers. Both teams got a ton of talent on defense. Bet the under. I don't know what the over-under is, but it's going to be a low-scoring game. That's a thought to think about there. It's going to come down big time to the defensive coordinators, Denny. Who's going to do a better job scheming it up? Man, we out-schemed Manny Diaz last year, okay? But Ohio State doesn't do as much stuff as we do to get them in bad formations and bad adjustments. I think I would just take the home team, but it's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be tough to gain yards. And we want Ohio State to win, though, Denny. I think we want Ohio State to win because it's just how I feel. I think going to Penn State, it might be the biggest challenge we're going to have the rest of the year. That's my thought compared to having the Buckeyes at home. So I think we want the Buckeyes to win.
I hear you on that. Ohio State, their top 2 tailbacks, like last year, they are banged up. I don't know what their status, if they're going to be available for this game or not. They've been running their 3rd string guy, so keep an eye on that. Henderson and Williams have both missed some time. So who knows? And also, for an injury news, it's off the Penn State and Ohio State game, but Georgia loses one of the best players in the country, the best tight end in the country, and Brock Bowers could be out for the season. He's going to have ankle surgery and likely going to miss the rest of the season. That's huge news for the Bulldogs.
That's too bad. Danny, a couple other quick thoughts I want to get in. Maryland gets beat at home by Illinois. That's just, you think Mike Locksley's turned the corner, and you gotta be able to coach every week. That's what I like about Jim. You gotta get your team ready to play every week, and they just weren't ready to go. So I thought that was disappointed. Can we please get Jim Harbaugh paid and get this contract done, Ward? If I'm the athletic director at Michigan, I give Jim a blank sheet of paper and Ward, sign your name on the bottom. Fill it out, man. What do you need? You want to be the highest paid coach in the Big Ten? Let's get this thing done. The guy's done everything. He's won on the field. His guys, listen, we've had a couple little off the field issues with some players and anyway, our guys aren't acting like clowns on campus. He's doing the right things. Get him paid. So that's that.
So how about this, Scar? The regents agree with you. The president does. So does the athletic director. And Jim Harbaugh said he's ready for a contract there. So everything has lined up. So what would be, and the NCAA stuff is not a factor. So what is it? There has to be something that is holding it up. Is it Jim Harbaugh obviously should be paid as one of the top coaches? You want to say highest paid coach of the Big Ten? I would agree. You want to get him up there and say he should be the highest paid coach in the country? I would agree. It's coming down to me. It's one of two things. I mean, Harbaugh might want to say this is his last time where he can be like, with NIL and the money going around there, he could say, hey, I want this certain amount of money going to the end. He could have that could be a factor. The other factor could be in that fine print when it comes down to the buyout. He could say, yeah, I want all this money. I want my assistants to have the biggest pool in the country. I want to be the highest paid coach of the Big Ten, but I want a small buyout.
Okay, and I don't know what's going on with it then. You got more information. I just,
I don't either. But look, I mean, like, I don't have to know. Okay. What we know is that he can ask for anything he wants, and he's going to get it. The only thing with everybody wanting him back could be, well, he's okay, but we need a little protection. We know and Harbaugh might just be like, look, everybody, I'm a top dog right now. Blank check, blank contract, sign it.
I'm just giving my thoughts. He should be the highest paid coach in the Big Ten. We pay our professors the best. We talk about leaders and best. We want the best facilities. We want the best professors. Our president is probably paid more than anybody. You pay our football coach. He's been winning. Our players are doing right. They're graduating. Anyway, that's that. Mike Elston talked about, and this is something I remember as a coach, teams are going to change their identity against Michigan. So that's what you see when you're really good on defense and you're good in all ways. Just because you scouted a team and they did this, and this against Maryland or this against Rutgers, it don't mean that's what they're going to try to do against you. So I think that's happening. People change totally, and that's why I like what Michigan's doing offensively, especially, is we're not changing what we're going to do against Rutgers, Indiana. We're throwing on first down because we're going to have to do that against the Buckeyes. We're throwing on first down because we're going to have to do that against Penn State. That's why I really like offensively what we're doing. Even though we can hammer these people running it, we're treating it like the way we're going to go about playing the big boys. So that's just something I wanted to add in there before we get into the film. Well, and real quick too, Denny, and I know I'm throwing some stuff at you. I just had to pipe in Gus and Joel. This was a statement from those guys. Well, because Gus asked Joel, what's going to happen next year in the Big Ten with the tournament? They're going to have the two best teams. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. No, it's going to be the two teams with the best record. That's different. There's a difference between the two best teams and the two teams with the best record. And I gave my thoughts on it. We got to play the Buckeyes. They got to play us. Everybody else has got other deals. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there too.
Well, I like you. You're bringing it strong today, Scar. It reminds me, I was watching after the Michigan game. I taped it so I could go back and watch the whole thing. Oregon and Washington. You got two incredible quarterbacks there with Pennick and Nix, and they both put on a show. Dan Lanning, the coach from Oregon, He went for it on 4th and goal. He went for it on 4th and 5. He went for it down near the goal line with time running down in the first half on a 4th and goal. He kept going for it at the end when he could have punted and his team was up. He went for it. He went for it every single time. It's like these coaches, like I get being aggressive. And I think everyone, in general, I mean, football is an aggressive game. The aggressor usually, I love that, but these coaches you can't be so aggressive. He should have kicked the field goal before halftime and he should have punted the ball there, even though Penix was lighting him up.
Danny, that's easy for you to say after the fact that they weren't successful.
During the game, Scar, I'm saying this guy you can only throw the dice so many times. Yeah. You're going to go to a poker game, all in. You just do that. It's not.
I hear you. You're like Todd Blackledge. Todd Blackledge is always after the fact. Hey, Todd, make the call ahead of time. I had to make those calls beforehand. It's a whole different deal, man. That's Blackledge. Oh, I would have did. Yeah, really? Why don't you tell us what you
want? In front of it then, Scar. Tonight, Brandon Staley, the Chargers coach, will do a bunch of stupid stuff when he has the opportunity to take some points, and they should fire him after the game if he makes a bunch of other dumb he's gotten off twice this year. And the same thing now, Lanning would be under the microscope. You can't, you know what? Here's what it is, Scar. I would say, and if I was in the room with Lanning, and I would say, look, there's a difference between aggressiveness and recklessness. And you're teetering, you're more reckless. You're too reckless. You get aggressive. Fine. Reckless? No. That's what I would say.
Well, hey, we're all happy about the Lions here right now. Our offensive philosophy, this guy's unbelievable. I was at the game in New York last year, 4th and 1 on the 50-yard line. He throws a pass. He runs a
he's cool. The thing about Campbell is he has gone from reckless. Some of the decisions have been reckless. These last 2 games, he's like, Ben, okay, I'll take a field goal. Whoa, he's going to take a field goal. I know at the end of the Seattle game, I think the caffeine wore off and everything. Like he was going for it left and right. And then the caffeine wore off and he's like, I don't know, just kick it.
Listen, Denny, I like the, I understand him because I'm a defensive guy. Lanning is a defensive guy. He thinks like a defensive coach, and he knows if you're just going to ram it in there, slam it in there on the goal line all the time, you're going to be predictable and people are going to kill you and they're going to stuff you. So I got no problem with some of that aggressive stuff, and I'm just giving you my thoughts there. I got no problem with being hard to figure out. That's why I like Michigan. They're hard to figure out.
A lot of people agree with you, Scar. Lanning was playing to win.
Yeah, it's just he's hard to figure out, man. I don't know what he's going to do down in distance, and that has a residual effect on a defensive coordinator. And it puts the defense in conflict. It makes it, hey, 4th and 1 doesn't mean he's going to slam it in there. I don't know what it means. So that there's an upside to all that stuff. And I think Michigan, our offense sees it. We benefit from being like that, as an offense, that we're not predictable. We threw it 4th and 1 against Minnesota on the 50-yard line. So that stuff is good. It has an impact because as a guy who coached defense and played defense, if I'm looking at that film of Michigan, 4th and 1, wow, I got to be ready to possibly contain this kid. I can't squeeze on the inside run, so those things matter.
Well, the biggest game on Saturday was with under 2 minutes to go on the 4th down when JJ threw the ball on a 4th and 2 when he threw it to Roman Wilson. So
that stuff has residual impact for your offense.
I still think it was too reckless as I was watching the game. All right, so you ready for some film?
Yeah, good. You got me up and running here?
Well, I just want to tell everyone that the star of the Telestrator, we want to thank Quick Cut for their video and analytics. I also want to tell people, ladies and gentlemen, that there's the Quick Cut, that Maize and Blue review right now during this what could be championship season. It looks like it's going to be a special season. You want to know what's going on with the team, the latest, the features, everything there. You want to talk about it with like-minded folks. That is why you join the Maize and Blue review. Do it today by going to michigan.rivals.com, recruiting, transfer portal, everything, NIL, contract talk. It is all there. We'll see you over. We'll see you over there. Give us a chance. That's all we're asking for. is a chance. And there it is, Scar, as we get into the film.
All right, Danny, you got me up here, bull in the ring.
Yes, the bull in the ring. What's that?
All right, Danny, real quick. You know, when I was playing, we used, we'd come out and we'd warm up. I was the inside outside linebackers. We used to warm up in this corner over here. No, I think the D line too. Yeah, it was inside outside D line. Anyway, the student section was here. We used to do this thing called bull in the ring, and it was just, I don't want to get into it, but it was a contact, get you ready to go, heavy hitting shoulders, get your shoulders loose drill. And the student section used to get geeked up and fired up. And I thought about it like, man, where the students at? Where you at? We need you, man. It matters. Anyway, that's a drill we used to do. I don't know if Jim and Elston and Minter do that thing, but I loved it. I did it as a coach. Get you fired up. And that was something we did pregame. And here's the guys talking about the two best teams. Well, I don't know if it's the two best teams as opposed to the teams with the best record. Okay, let's take a look at this first play here. We got 6 up, or we got 7 up here on the line of scrimmage. We got 0 coverage, Danny. We got no safety, nothing. 3rd and 11. We got 7 guys up, and everybody's in man. And we're bringing Page off the edge here, and I like this is coached up. He doesn't hit him in the head. He doesn't hit him late. He hits him right in the shoulder, and it's smart. And there's no penalty, so this stuff is coached, and I like it. And all that stuff matters. Both those guys had a free shot on them, and you want to trust me. You want to drill the guy. You want to hit him. And really put a hit on him, but you just can't do it, man. So I like that. Smart coaching, smart players. All right, here we go. 3rd and 7. This is one of the weaknesses of this protection. We got empty set, Denny. So it's a weakness of this protection. And we don't get this guy blocked. And the linebackers showing pressure. So they're bringing 6. We got 5 protecting. And when this play happened, I'm saying, you know what? This is just Tom Allen. He doesn't have the best players, but this edge player, he knows JJ can run. He takes a better angle. And JJ can normally outrun these guys, but this kid's smarter. We got no answer, and we end up taking a sack. But we have to have a plan for when they bring 6.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you're playing. If a guy's just coming free, you got to account for.
Well, yeah, you got a quick throw or whatever it is you're going to do.
Right.
You have to have a plan as an offense, but we can't block 6 with 5. Either you got to roll out quick away from the extra defender, have a plan. All right, here we go with. I don't know what these two guys do. We're confused here, Denny. It's 1st and 10, and this is when Indiana was driving the football. We're making mental mistakes. We got 2 guys covering the same zone, and they're both dropping into the same zone, and no one's in there. So this is a mental mistake, and you can see Sanistril after the play. He's looking at Moore like, "What are you doing, man?" Watch Sanistril here. And he's looking at him. What are you doing? They're not right on their drop. So that was a mental mistake. And they ran the football on us here this first drive, man. He's always been a good coach with his offensive line, Tom Allen. So now we do things here. Sometimes this bothers me as a former edge player, but I kind of understand what Minter's doing. We'll drop him either way. We'll drop him here where he's going to try to help on the out cut if this receiver is running a shallow out here, or we'll also drop him in here if the receiver is running a slant. So we do that as a coaching staff. We try to play the guessing game with them. We've just been guessing wrong lately, but that's football sometimes. And they hit a slant in us on here because he's dropping with width, and they throw it inside. So we do both there, and I kind of get an idea of what Minter's doing there because it used to bug me, but I get it. You can't just do the same thing all the time.
Right.
So moving on. But this is his first drive, man. They drove the ball right down the field on us, man. And now here we go, 3rd and 12. And we got showing a little pressure. And we get 2 guys to make a play here. You know, the quarterback just made a bad throw. And Sanistro gets his hand up. You know, that tight end was open if he puts it there. You know, I think he's trying to throw to the tight end. It was because the guy in the corner is kind of open too. But Sanistro gets his hand up. We get out of trouble here. But again, Indiana put a nice drive together. And nice job by Sanistro and Moore. I think Moore is going to get more and more confident, comfortable, getting healthy. Now we're bringing pressure off the edge here, Denny. And you know, I've said this. I don't like bringing safeties a lot. You got to throttle down, and you got to know the speed of the quarterback. And you know, he's keeping outside leverage, but he's got to throttle down here. You know, we let this kid. We got him. We could have had him punting the football. You know, you want to get there fast. You want to get there fast, but you got to throttle down, shuffle down, be an athlete, right shoulder. Don't try to knock them out. That's a problem a lot of guys have. They want to put the big hit on them, but you got to, you know, this won't happen to them again, though. But again, they're driving the football again. You know, we just got off the field with the interception, and here come the Hoosiers again. I like this, Denny, that, you know, here we got 3rd and 1, and we do a great job adjusting here. I thought they could have ran the football out here if the coaches would have saw it. But, again, we don't give them nothing easy. We do a good job with our D-line. They convert this, but it's barely, you know. But, again, I like that there's nothing easy. Anything so far, Danny? I've been going kind of fast here.
Well, we've got some questions. Richard wants to know about the slant. What do you think?
Well, you know, it's again, you don't know what route they're going to run. So, you know, and you can't defend both with that player. You can't run the quick, you can't defend the quick out, and you can't defend the slant with the same. You know, a player has to know pre-snap where his drop is. So it's a guessing game that we do as coaches. You know, I did the same thing. You don't want them to know you're always defending the slant because then you're going to throw the out. You don't want them to know you're always defending the out because then they'll throw the slant. So it's a guessing game. It's try to figure out what they're doing. Pick up what? Go ahead, Danny.
Mark wanted to know about the sacks. You know, that Indiana had 3 of them in the first half. Harbaugh, you know, Scar demonstrated how Michigan went empty. They didn't have a back. They only ran that set one more time for the entire game. So they made the adjustment there. They didn't leave McCarthy back there without another back. They only ran the empty one more time. And then Harbaugh chalked it up to, you know, IU making a play. I mean, they made credit the Hoosiers. Now,
yeah, because you don't guess right all the time as an offensive coach, and in every when we go empty, hey, there's weaknesses to it, man. You only got 5 guys protecting. So Tom Allen's not dumb. He understands that. He brought 6 guys. Anyway,
look, I mean, you have to remember, Scar, and people like, you know, Michigan's like, you look at all this, the teams that they're playing, they've got the numbers here, you know, first time to score 30 or more points and allow 10 fewer in the first 7 games and like forever. But look, you know, like if it was a heavyweight fight, you know, it would have been through 4 rounds and Michigan wouldn't have looked all that good. It's still early, but it was getting to the point where, okay. But I mean, there was a lot of people panicking in the first quarter and everything else. But I mean, what else are you going to do? If you don't ask about the sacks, if you don't ask about McCarthy, you just sit back and say everything's great and you don't really say anything. So I get people doing a little bit of.
Oh yeah, I trust me, I understand it, and you know it is. You're always going to get challenged, and that's football, man. 3rd and 10. I thought, you know, Danny, you talked about this was a huge play, man. Huge play to change them. I mean, we're 3rd and 10, man. We're getting stuffed. It's 1 minute left in the first quarter. We got nothing going on offense. They're running through our defense. You know, we had could have been 14-0 at this time, and I thought we do a good job picking up this stunt. And then a nice throw and catch by Loveland down here. So they run a little stunt here. They're showing some pressure, and we pick it up. And that was a huge play. I thought a huge play to get some momentum, and this leads to a score. So,
and that's a great ball, a great catch too. Everything.
Yeah.
I like.
You know, this is something we've been running now for a while. But you're basically we're going to have Roman come all the way from over here and lead through. You could call it a power. You could call it an ISO. I'm not quite sure what the coaches call this, power ISO. But what's good about it, normally we pull backside guards when we want to run this kind of, but they're big and slow. Now we got a little fast guy. He can come all the way from this side of the field and lead through. Watch how we run this play. He'll lead through and get that safety at the top. You see that, Denny?
Yeah.
So you can't do that with a backside, backside tackle to ask them to come all this way. So anyway, it's good coaching. It gives you problems, and it's well executed. We got a nice down block. I thought our tight ends were outstanding. I love this Barner kid. And Loveland, man, he's a I'm gonna call him a Michigan tight end now. Okay, that's a Michigan tight end because all the media's been stroking him, and you could sense old Scar wasn't buying in, right? Because I didn't see him blocking. Well, I'm buying in now with Loveland. He's been hanging around Barner. Okay, he's been hanging around Barner and the big fella, Coach Big Grant. They got him. They've worked on his block, and he's a real deal. Anyway, first down. We can't. This is what I talked about, Denny. Being Elston talk about teams changing their identity for who they're playing. We got to prepare our offensive football team listen. We're going to throw it first down. We can't wait for Penn State and OSU, the real good defenses, to say, we're going to throw it on first down. This is what we do. Make them believe that we can run and throw on any down. So because we weren't really exactly pounding this team, but this is the stuff I like to see. Develop an inconsistent identity. Hard to figure out what you do. This is a nice throw here. I mean, a small window there, and JJ dimes it in there, but it was well executed. Jet with number 2 empty. And a great job by the big fella here, Barnhart. But I thought there was some deception here. Take a look at Corum. It looks like he's kind of going to see if you're playing defense and you see Corum trotting over, many times he'll just bunker in as a back here. You know what I mean? He'll go in motion and they'll put him in the backfield as a back, and the defense will adjust. Or maybe he'll adjust over here as a back. Okay. And he's playing it off like that's what he might do. But this is all deceptive little stuff that's coached. And what do? They run jet sweep with them. The average eye may not have noticed that, but if I'm coaching defense or if I'm playing defense, I see him kind of trotting. That's why they didn't have him. I think that's why they didn't have him run real fast. See how he's kind of trotting there, Denny?
Yeah.
See, that's all deception. And then look at Barnhart here leading out. What an athlete. He's having a hell of a year, man. But that's the little stuff that people do to deceive the defense.
I'd go back to that. You know what Harbaugh said today about Corum? He said that, I believe this is what he said, that he is the fastest player getting up to speed. He said it only takes him like 2 or 3 steps. And if you look at that, you could see that they went into that. His acceleration, like his quickness to get to his top end speed is as fast. I mean, he's got those strong legs. So he's lolly, and watch how fast he gets up to full speed there.
Yeah. That's
what Harbaugh was talking about.
Yeah, that's why a lot of the pros, they don't just look at the 40. They want to look at the 20 and the shuttles and all that other stuff to see how quick you can accelerate. I love this block by 89 and 18. 18 is getting it. He's hanging around 89. And watch Corum. Watch the block we get here. Moving these dudes. Kick out by 44. And then Corum just falls forward. But I really like this block here. We're moving these guys, putting them in the end zone.
You can't talk enough about the tight end, Scar.
Denny, because we can't run our offense if we don't have tight ends that can block. Otherwise, we're just imposters. Jim Harbaugh offense, your tight end's got to block. And I like that I really like Trente Jones. He's getting some clock. I like seeing him get clock. He's a good kid, or tough kid. Watch the block by Bredesen here. We end up scoring here. I mean, everybody's good there. The whole line is good. Nice kick out by Zinter. Get movement there by our tight ends. And look at where Bredesen puts this kid. You see where this kid ends up, Denny? On his back in the end zone. Watch Bredesen watch Bredesen the whole play. Watch this kid right here. You watch him. Watch what he does to this linebacker. You see that? That's a gold sticker, man. That's a block. You know, nobody talks about that, though, okay? The guy in the Gus ain't talking about that. Scar's talking about that. You want to talk about the guy who had the ball. Here we go. I want to take another. I liked it so much, I wanted to take another look. This is the stuff that people don't see. Now, I could have ran that thing in. I'm an old, can't even move guy. You see that, Denny?
They buried him.
Beautiful.
Somebody asking a question if Bredesen has a catch or carry. I think he has multiple catches. I'm not sure about a carry, but he had a catch. He's had a catch this year.
Yeah, they gave him the ball last year at the fullback position. In fact, I'd like to see that done a little bit. See, they're moving us here. This isn't great by Grant, and I think that's Benny in there. You know, Indiana has always been tough for us to stop. You know, he just does a good job with his zone blocking. So Benny and I think that's Barry in there, just a little too high. Uh-oh, what happened there? This is 6 up. We got 6 up. It's 3rd and 2. And we end up dropping big Kenny Grant here. One of many different schemes that coach has. And he gets right in front of that slant. So that's how they're coaching that. Probably tell them, you know, punch, make them feel that they got to honor you and protect. You know what I mean, Denny? And then you got a guy blocking air. You got their offensive guard blocking air, because he doesn't know that this guy's going to be dropping. But yeah, he threw it right to Kenny, and he dropped that one.
Well, it's a great illustration. You might want to know why you would, drop a guy as big as Grant, but the guard backed up 5 yards. Yeah. Grant was able to.
Yeah, you're making him block air, and then you're overloading a different gap. Here's number 7 doing some good things. You know, Denny, I don't know if I've said this, but a great coach told me one time, don't ask a guy to do something he can't do. Don't ask a player to do something he can't do. Okay, do the things that he can do. Ask him to do the things that he can do. So, you know, that was Coach Schembeckler that said that. So, okay, I get it. There's people are maybe frustrated. Donovan's not running all over the place like against the Buckeyes last year, but let's do the things that he can do. Great job by JJ getting outside the defense.
Whoa, look at that throw.
What's
throw, Scar? Take me through that throw. He looked like he was, standing there and fire. That was all arm, and then his legs are going across there. This is a hell of a throw here.
I mean, just Danny. They're offside, so we pick it up. We're smart. We coach that up, and this guy is sleeping for Indy. Yeah, you know, that's just a smart coach, smart team that they know that they jumped off sides, and you got to coach that up. It's not easy to figure that out. You had a penalty there. This is the flea flicker. We run the hell out of it. We've been running this dang thing. We probably run it 5 times already this year. And where's going to be the open man? You know, the linebackers bite up a little bit, and JJ just says, okay, I'm not going to get greedy. And he finds the short route there. So that's been a good play for us. 89, the cap. You know what was made me go think about this play, Denny? This kid right here, he was the captain for Tom Allen last year, wherever Tom Allen, you know what I mean? He was the captain. How'd you like to be coaching, against a team where your former captain is sitting right here in front of you on your sideline? It's got to be discouraging for Tom Allen, And here he is. He makes JJ makes a nice throw, and Barner makes a nice catch. But I just thought about that. You got Tuttle, and this kid has been great. This was a great pickup by Jim to go out and get this kid. What a stud he is.
Yeah, he can catch and block.
We catch them slanting in here, and we pull our guard, and we get. Let's take a look here. And I thought this would have been a bigger run, but we pick it up, slanting defense. And I just thought, this is one of them runs. You look at, could Donovan have, got us another yard? Could he have made this kid, beat this kid? Is there something back in here? But it didn't happen. And you got to get this guy blocked. Oh, you know why I had that play circled? Because this is why this kid does a hell of a job. This kid here does a hell of a job. This linebacker, because Denny, you got to take it real slow. Look how this linebacker right here. He sees big Zinter coming, and he takes it on just like I talk about. He takes it with inside punch, with inside control. So if the play is going to hit, it has to bounce outside. Okay, and this linebacker does a great job. He takes with inside, and he falls off inside and makes the play. So Zinter's got to try to get inside of that thing and dig him out of there. You can't let him get an inside punch on you. Do you understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah, I was absorbing all of that.
He's got to try to dig him out. Anyway, we're a little confused there. The line of scrimmage here, 3rd and goal. I got the line of scrimmage pointed out, and I've got this kid circled. And our quarterback gets outside the defense. This is what sets the JJ apart. We've had a lot of guys that can throw accurate passes. This is the stuff. And you know why this is such a big play, Danny? Because it's like, okay, the ball's on the 8-yard line, okay? And, okay, if JJ doesn't do this, we end up kicking the field goal.
Right.
Because now he gets us down there to the 2-yard line, and now this changes Coach Harbaugh's thinking. And IU, they're confused. So I'll give our coaches credit here. We did a shift, and then we lined up here. We end up like here, okay? And it's 4th and goal. But they're confused. Look at their defense. They're just not lined up right. They're confused. And maybe it was the formation. I don't know what it was, but they got nothing here.
Yeah, we had 2 guys free.
They got 6 dudes up there defending, defending up here. Maybe not 6, but they got a lot of guys up there, and they got nothing over here. That's a confused defense. Did our coaches do something to create that is what I'm asking. That's what I like seeing. I like seeing coaches that, confuse the defense. So good stuff.
Good play call. Good execution.
Yeah. Well, it's a good scheme. And here we are rushing. We got 3 edge players in the game. And this is a 3-man look. Some different stuff. This is really a 3-3-5, Denny. This is the stuff TCU did, and this is something that Minter ran for this game. This is a 3-3-5 look. 3 D linemen and 3 linebackers in here. Okay, that's a 3-3-5. And we got edge players in the game, and we end up getting some pressure. But it's a different look that I think we ran it last week once. But they have to work on it. And, they may have put it in to help our offense so that they get to see it in practice. You know what I mean? That's why they put it in, because we see so much of it. Coaching. I mock this because this is a heck of a return. And I don't know how much of this is coaching. This is recruiting. This kid does a great job here. There's what a job. What an athlete. Makes. I thought we got away with a clip. As soon as this play happened, I thought that might have been a clip here. Look at this. See where he hits him? Denny?
Yeah, I'm looking at it to see if it...
The wrong ref, that's a clip. But an 89 again. Look at this guy. Puts him on his back. But that is number 8 is Morris, right?
Yeah, Tyler Morris. T-Mo, they call him.
Yeah, that's a great job by him. What do we got here? We got 1st and 10, and I don't like this play. It's Danny. I think what we do here is these guys have to figure out who to block based on, I think, coverage, and you don't always see it until the ball is snapped. I think that's why we have so many problems at times, because you're going to see two guys block one, and then they do a terrible job blocking them, and he makes the play. You know what I mean? So I'm watching this. I'm like, why the hell do we have so much trouble with that? But we do a better job later. But see, I got no trouble with this play call from JJ carrying the ball. The scores, we're in a ball game here. You know what I mean? I got no problem running JJ when we're up 7 points. We got to block this better. And again, we do later, but that's that. And we'll show. And then they get the penalty there. So they got dumb guys doing stuff like that. And we got to block this better. Guy pushed him right back into JJ's face. This is Henderson. You got to get his butt down. This kid was pretty good, though. He come off the edge that one play. This is a good player for them, this edge player. But, we pick up the first down, but that's not good enough by Henderson. Well, that play by JJ, I just got wow. Can you coach this stuff? 1st and 10, makes that guy miss, outruns this guy and pitches it. We played Iowa back in '85, Denny. Coach Harbaugh did this same kind of deal on the goal line. We ended up scoring a touchdown on it. Same kind of pitch. They work on that, but that's a hell of a play. He gets outside the defense. That takes speed and athletic ability, and then to do something like that. So then we punch this in.
I think I have that play here, Scar. Let me see if I can punch it up there for 1 second.
Which play did you want to punch in?
That's Harbaugh doing the.
Oh, an 85?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. He show it when we're done here. But yeah, the same kind of deal. I mean, I was on the sideline there when that happened. I remember it. But here's 82, man. We got a guy that can return. And this stuff is huge. We start at the 35-yard line. Okay, against the Buckeyes, I mean, we're up 21-7 here, but when we play the Buckeyes in Penn State, that's one less first down we got to make. That stuff is huge. So that's Jay Harbaugh coaching them up. Okay, what do we got here? Blocked better. Okay, now same kind of deal. This is JJ keeping the ball, but we communicate better here. And I think they read this based on coverage. That's why I think there's sometimes there's mistakes, but we block it. All these three guys block it better here, and we get good yards. 1st and 10, JJ keeps it. Everybody's keeping contact, no clip. Nice pickup. Get out of bounds. Easy 11 yards.
Yeah, dude. JJ's making stuff look easy. That wasn't easy, but he made that look easy.
All right, 32, keep the ball inside. Whenever you're blitzing, Danny, I knew this as a guy who played on the edge. Whenever you're bringing inside pressure, there's a good chance the quarterback's going to flush, and he's going to flush quick. So you got to know that if you're a contained guy, whenever we bring inside pressure. But I like Harrell at the top. He's he's spinning around. He's working an outside. Harrell is actually over here. Where is Harrell? Harrell's lined up here, and he works outside, but he keeps outside leverage. Quarterback's got nowhere to go. He understands that, we're bringing pressure. So a lot of little things going on there. Good job. Celebrate. That's a team. That's a scheme sack. 2 guys that can return. I like this. I think we got a couple guys that were working in there. This is Thaw here, right? Is that how do you say it?
Yeah, Jake Thaw.
He's not gonna. He might not break it for 6, but he's a sure-handed guy that they probably feel comfortable with because he's catching the punt. So that's good that we got a couple guys that can catch a punt.
I like this guy.
82, elusive and tough. We throw a little bubble screen out here, and this is good. I mean, it's blocked okay, but there's guys there. He makes a guy miss, runs a guy over. That's a tough kid, man. We're in the end zone. And that's out of West Bloomfield.
Second touchdown. This kid's going to be good.
That kid, that's good. Here we go, empty. left over. We got an overload on the left side here. We're trying to bring extra guys here, and then we stunt 23. So we're bringing him up in here. We got a stunt where obviously if he wanted to run the ball there, he could. It's 3rd and 9, but we execute it good. And Barrett really finds that little seam in there, and he does a good job timing it up and knowing exactly where the weakness of the protection is. See how we're working him over the top of the center. So the center's going to widen out. He's widening out, and Barrett there's nothing there. So again, we know there's weaknesses to empty set, but we get pressure with 5 opposed to Indiana having to do it with 6. You like to be able to get it with 5, Denny?
Yeah, I think Michigan's, you already mentioned it, but Elston deserves credit. And really the whole defense, Jesse Minter, they do a good job. They don't, there's so many penalties each week called for roughing the quarterback or hitting him high or hitting him low, or the helmet to the, the face, hands to the face. In Michigan, they don't get called. They haven't been called for very many of those at all, if any. So they do a great job at knowing where to hit the quarterback.
Yeah, Denny, that's not by coincidence, man.
No, you said it. You're right.
Yeah,
they do.
That stuff is all coached up, man.
Good at
so
it.
Anyway, here we go. I'm going crazy watching this. We're up, we got 28-point lead. It's raining, it's nasty, and we got the superstar franchise, the best that ever played, and we're going to run them on a quarterback draw, a predetermined out of empty now. That doesn't make sense to me, but what do I know? I'm just a washed-up high school coach. Getting drilled. Look at this.
Harbaugh didn't want to talk about that one.
I mean, look at this hit he takes. Boom, boom. Two big fellas. What the heck's the point? You're up 28. Whatever, man. Moving on.
Blake Corum said he's a little hard-headed today. He said JJ's a little hard-headed, but they said they love him because he wants.
Okay.
He wants.
Well, you know what though? That's why you got the leaders that takes over that. You guys want to hit all the time. You got to tell them, hey, no. Is back getting reps. One is back. Okay, Amarian, he's down there. Danny, how long has he been back in the
game or two? He's been back a little bit, taking some snaps. Yep.
Okay, he comes up here. I like to see him a little more right shoulder. Not let the kid get to the first down. He's got to, come out here. But anyway, he's in the game. He's getting reps. He's an unbelievable looking athlete. I stood next to the kid, and hopefully, with time, with reps, he becomes the kind of player we think he can be. Good coverage there. Good pressure. 3rd and 13. All right. 99, making it. I like the big dog, getting better. Big 99. Punching. Coming off, making a play.
Wow, yeah, he looked good there.
This is the stuff, we work on hands, punching, come off, make a play. That's hard to do, Denny. It's hard to do, man.
Coming off a block and then ripping a player down like that.
Taking on a 300-pound dude, man, and then making that play. That's hard to do.
No, that was
32 again, containing. Let's see what we got here. We got a lot of guys up. Down in distance, 4th and 3. What are we doing here? He's down here on the bottom. He does a good job. Look he didn't make the tackle, Danny, but his angle is great. This is what we want. This is what you want to do. Outside, he don't care if he steps up in the pocket. Because if he gets outside the defense, this play ain't never happening. He's throwing it, and now he fumbles the ball, and we're rolling.
He get a hand on the ball when he was doing that?
He just was in the right spot. He made the quarterback step up. The quarterback's carrying the ball like a loaf of bread with one hand. Then he got one hand on the ball. Let me see. What's he got?
Well, there's one.
Or maybe he did strip it.
I think he did.
Yeah. Anyway,
right hand.
Great play. He kept the ball inside the defense and 2 hands on the ball with the big fella. Good. Great stop. Celebrate. There you go. What do we got here? 28. Strong. There's the young freshman. This kid's a tank. Look at him. Running guys over. Look at the pile moving, man. Look at that. I mean, there's some offensive linemen moving guys too. You know, we're underneath guys. Look at this offensive line coming off the ball.
Look like Chris Perry there.
Our helmets are low. We're all driving in here, wedging and moving guys. Look at this nose guard. Where's he end up? Look at that line getting moved. The line of scrimmage getting moved. You know, and then 28 doesn't hurt things. Low center of gravity. Nice job.
Mark
44. Again, we're back to 44. I just like this kid as a player, man. And then we watch 44 lead through there. Boom. He reads it. He's got a little bit of speed. Get it outside. Plays well blocked. He's blocking a linebacker in there. I mean, we get everything, everybody blocked. Nugent, what a stud he is. I don't talk about Nugent and he's got in Zinter. You know, we don't mention them enough. Because they're just solid, man. They do what they're supposed to do. And here's a play that's not blocked very well, and this kid gets you something, man. This is 28 again. You know, what's there?
Good feet.
Yeah.
Little start, stop.
Yeah. He falls forward, Denny. He falls forward. You got the young guys in here. Get some movement. Big Percy in there, 79. I think they got him in at guard here now, I think. Yeah, he's in at guard. Percy does a good job pulling, kicking out, and he reads the block. You know, he's reading that block, Danny. See how that guy's making it bounce? Percy's got to read it. This guy's wrong arming it. So Percy's seeing this kid, and he's going to come underneath this. So Percy has to read it. See how he's going inside shoulder there? And the back reads it, so he's going to bounce it out. And they're going to look how he falls forward. We got some running backs, man. Yeah. Tuttle to Moore. This is good to see. The backup quarterback. 3rd and goal.
Where'd he come from, Scar?
Who you at? Who you at? What's your question?
Tuttle. Where'd he come from?
You know where he came from. IU, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is it. He's going up against his former team here.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you know, that's gotta, that I didn't think about that, but that's gotta be a good feeling for him. You know, Denny, I've said this, you know, maybe I have, but if I'm coaching Michigan, I'm having a package for Tuttle, and I'm gonna have a J, like we had JJ. Remember we had the JJ package where he would run quarterback ISO, quarterback power, or some of this easy passing stuff. I would run it, and I'd run it in the first quarter if I'm coaching Michigan, because I just would. And people think I'm crazy, but I think that stuff, the quarterback power, you can run it, you get them reps, you get them confident. And I think they still got to defend us. Tuttle, we got 2 QBs. How about, okay, there it is, because I knew I had it in my notes here. How about a Tuttle package? Throws a nice pass here. Why can't we let him get in the first quarter? 7-7, get him in there, let him run. He can do, he's not going to hurt us. And all that experience is going to help you, help your confidence. We got some young guys getting in. I wanted to show some of what they're doing here.
Carmelo English.
Yeah, so he's making a catch. You know, this is the team guy, JJ, man. Look at this. You know, this is JJ. I like this. You know, he's giving a big hug to the 5th-year senior who transferred from Indiana. And that's, you know, that stuff is good, man. All young guys here. It's huge, the reps they're getting. Denny, I had 2 reps as a freshman. 2 reps. And you know what? Those 2 reps mattered, man. They mattered. They give a guy hope. They give a guy confidence. You know, these coaches believe in me. They put me in the game. Look at these young guys getting reps.
DJ Waller. DJ Waller comes in, and if you just watch mop-up time, he's always around the ball.
Oh, I've been talking about this big 74. And here he is getting better, playing the double team, playing a base block. Look how he does it, what he does to that guard. that's not a bad job. He's punching. He comes off it. What's his name? Atterbury, right?
Reese Atterbury came over from the offensive side.
He's punching in here. He's not getting knocked off the leg because he was getting knocked. Now he's got to try to throw this guy away, and he's come off it. He makes a play in there. So that's good stuff. Getting better. He's seeing himself on film, getting game reps. 34. What a young linebacker, this kid. I thought we'd see more of him, but he comes up here. Look at this. Boom. Creates a fumble, creates a turnover. That's Hood, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the future linebacker.
Yeah, he's a real Michigan man too. You listen to him talk. He's everything you want with a guy in the program. I mean, he's a great spokesperson.
Here's Caden Colasar. Team guy. I like his old man. I played with his old man. Caden's doing a great job on special teams, and he's a team guy, and that's all I got. Good stuff. So yeah, it's a great situation. We keep coming out of there healthy. What happened, Denny? Did I? There you go.
It's me. I wanted to thank Quick Cut for the video and analytics for Scars.
Yeah, Denny, I would have a tunnel package. I the more I watch it, I'm like, it's tough for the defense to deal with. You know the quarterback power we ran against Ohio State on the goal line. Run that play with Tuttle against Michigan State. It's tough to defend, man. You know what I mean? Those plays are tough to defend, and you're not worried about him getting banged up. And he's shown he can throw, and you get him reps in the game. He's going to be more confident when you do need him. So I like it. But what the hell do I know? Washed up high school coach. I used to play my backup quarterback in the first half. I didn't care what the score was. He got rep.
Hey, Scar, they putting Chad Henne in last year when Mahomes was out there for the first quarter. No, they're leaving the stars in. I mean, that's the flip side. You got a guy like Josh Allen's not coming out of the game.
I hear you. I understand. These pro guys, they'll lose their job for that. But I just I believe in it, and we rotate 3 running backs, we rotate all these tight ends, but whatever. My thoughts are kind of unique on that.
All right, let's answer some questions. Richard asking about Cole Cabana. He was banged up, missed the spring. He has been in there a little bit. There's just a lot of depth when you start talking about running back. Look, you have Corum and Edwards, Khalil Mullings, who I think is going to be back for the Purdue game, certainly Penn State game. So, there's 3. We know Hall. I mean, there's only so many guys you can play. So, he's got a red shirt. That's all right.
Yeah, you got to get physically ready, man. Maybe he looked like he's not the biggest kid. Maybe he needs a couple years of Ben Herbert. There's no problem sitting the bench for a couple years, man. A lot of guys do. So get some Ben Herbert in him, get some training table, get him stronger. Real quickly, then I think Donovan Edwards should have put on about 10 pounds, maybe 5-8 pounds. I don't want him to. I still want to use him and be a problem for people to defend him on the pass routes, but I think he'd be a different player if he was like 5-8 pounds heavier, a little more physical on an inside run. Just a thought, Danny. Just a thought.
Yeah, I don't know. The more I watch him, I know that he's a dangerous weapon. And you just think about Michigan on offense with, they've got the true running back in Corum. They have 2 guys in Hall and Mullings who can be physical with you. And Edwards, to me, fits in nicely here as a guy that can get out and he can catch the ball and he can take a catch and take it 60 yards. I mean, he still has the quality where he can take it like he did against Ohio State, 75 and 85 yards. Not a lot of teams have that kind of a bullet, going for him. And, true enough, maybe, you give him 4 or 5 carries and you say, wow, man, this guy's just falling down at the line, or his feet need to be a little quicker, or he needs to be a little stronger. And then you know what happens on that 7th carry? Boom, he's going for a touchdown. You're like, whoa. It's like having that big home run hitter in your lineup that strikes out a lot. That's what Donovan Edwards is. And, I wouldn't count him out. At Penn State, you need a 60-yarder in 4 seconds, 4.5. He might get it for you. Against Ohio State, he might get you 75, 85 yards in 2 carries. So
we got a good problem. We got a lot of depth there, a lot of guys that can play. So the running back room is solid. Great coach in there. So
yeah, I'd rather have a guy. I mean, I don't know if this is going to be the case, but it was last year. Like, I want a guy to show up in the late in the season against the big time opponents. And sure, you'd like him to show up from game 1 and everything else. And this thing would be, just going full blast, all cylinders and everything else. But he's still a special player.
Yeah, no question, Denny.
All right, well, Scar, let's go. Andres is getting in here late. And it's good to see the former poster known as Andres. Scar, do you got any final thoughts? You went over it all. Great job.
Yeah, no, hey, just a huge week of practice. Players will be fired up. The attention to detail will be there, and we will be a fired up team and secure the ball. That's it, man. That's all we got to do to win this football game. No gifts. Go Blue.
There he is, Jim Scarcelli. Thanks.